If you lost your mother to death, or if your mother was emotionally absent or narcissistic, then you have missed the nurturing care of a mother. As we'll explore in this podcast, Nurturing Words, Voices of Experience, being a motherless daughter means being part of a club that no one wants to be in. The good news is, while you're unique, you are not alone. What if we told you Motherless Daughters Minstry has 20 years' worth of pearls of wisdom to help you on your mother loss journey? It's true, and we are sharing all of these pearls with you through this very podcast, Nurturing Words, Voices of Experience, sponsored lovingly by Motherless Daughters Minstry. Now we're going to take a moment and share with you something we're really excited about. The Journey Retreat, Healing the Wounds of Mother Loss, One Step at a Time, is a residential retreat focusing on mother loss and its effect on your life, how her emotional and physical absence shapes your identity, influences your style of mothering and relationships, how your grief surfaces throughout your lifetime, and how you experience living beyond your mother's final years. This weekend could literally change your life. Are you ready? Mark your calendar. The next retreat is coming April 26th through the 29th, 2024. Space is limited, so secure your spot early. Learn more on our Facebook page or on our website at motherlessdaughtersministry.com. We look forward to meeting you in April. Hello, I'm Gladys Bell, your host for today. In this episode, we are talking with Maryann Rousseau, the creator of a new platform, Daughters Without Mothers. Maryann Soma Rousseau resides in Southern California. Her professional background is in technology, and she's held global marketing and communications positions throughout her career. When not working, Maryann enjoys traveling with her husband, playing tennis, reading, and singing in a garage band. Her passion is spending time with family and friends. Between the two of them, Maryann and her husband have 8 nephews, 2 nieces, and many godchildren. Maryann is launching a new platform today, Daughters Without Mothers. This platform is a place to go and hear stories of hope from other women experiencing mother loss. You can check the show notes to find the Daughters Without Mothers website as well as social media. Check out this interview with Maryann.
Well, thank you so much, Maryann, for joining us today.
Hi, Sarah Lynn. It's good to be here.
Yes, it's always such a pleasure to be able to speak to others who are doing great work and trying to help others that are going through this mother loss journey. So we really appreciate you being here with us today and learning more about your story and about the work that you're doing. I want to make sure that we talk about the work you're doing, but beforehand, we like to share stories on Nurturing Words. We think it's so important for others to hear other people's stories and find ways that they connect. Our listeners, I know it makes them feel less alone when they feel they can connect to other stories. So I'd love just to hear a little bit more about your story of how you got to this point of working with others going through mother loss. Maybe start by hearing your own story of mother loss, just anything you would like to share about your story.
That makes sense. And so to start my story, I would say my mother died from cancer when I was 19 years old. When we learned that she was sick, the cancer was already in its 4th stage. So she bravely fought the battle for about a year and a half before she passed. And, at times I'm still a bit incredulous that this happened so long ago, right? But it seems like just yesterday.
Yes, I know. I hear that from so many and can relate to that as well. It can feel like a lifetime ago in some ways, and then in some ways, it feels like it's been no time at all. And I think it's so interesting hearing our stories because, as I said, it can help other people connect. The details of our stories are different. We all have very different experiences, and thank you so much for sharing about yours. Like I said, the details of our story may differ, but I think we can all relate to the grieving process, and there are parts of our stories that we can all relate to. So I'd love to hear, just as you began that journey from your mother loss, what were some of the biggest challenges for you at the start of your grief journey?
I was very young, just leaving my teen years and entering young adulthood. Therapy was not a ubiquitous word at the time, particularly not in a small Pennsylvania town where we grew up. I had to wrestle with roller coaster emotions and challenges I wasn't familiar with during the initial grieving time, and not having the necessary tools and support to assist with those. Everyone around me, it was life as usual, but that was far from what I was experiencing in every facet of my life. And what I thought would be my trajectory changed. I was now on a different path.
Yes, I think so many of us can relate to that. And it can be so hard. The grief journey is difficult anyway, but it can be so hard when we aren't able to find the right tools or the right things to be able to help us. I think that's why we're all wanting to work in this space, to be able to help others have a different experience, because it can be challenging to navigate that, especially when you're younger and maybe you don't have others around you who have gone through that process and that journey as well. So I think that's why it's so important, why our organization exists, why the platform we're going to be talking about that you are working with exists, just to be able to help people find those tools and find those resources to help them through that grief journey, because it can be so easy to get stuck in a certain part and just everyone around you, like you said, is business as usual things, but you're trying to navigate these challenges and this journey. And sometimes it can be hard to keep doing that without those tools. So thinking about that, are there things that you think or that you have found that have really helped you in your journey? Maybe some sort of support system or certain resources or something with your faith. What has helped you as you've begun to continue that journey?
Yeah, and I agree with all that you said, and it's so I take the word faith to begin with. It's a continual integration of faith for sure. And fast forward to when I moved to Southern California early on, those earlier years. One day while attending church, God sent a miracle. Someone was facilitating a group therapy program for women who lost their mothers. And so I signed up. The group sessions were wrapped in the foundation of God and utilized a book called Motherless Daughters as a guide. And I was surrounded by women going through the same type of loss, women who understood what I was going through. And, Sarah Lynn, that alone was super healing. Working through the grief during the group therapy program was one of the most difficult years of my life. I had a very heavy lean on God during that time period, and He got me through it.
Wow, what a needed encounter. That sounds like such a blessing, like you said, from God to be able to help you. I know we talk about a lot on this podcast and in our ministry, just about the importance of that community and being around others who are going through the same thing. It helps you feel less alone. It helps you to learn from them and figure out how to go through this process, because it's never done. We're all on this grief journey. It doesn't matter how long it's been. There's something new that we're learning, we're growing, we're continuing. And yes, that is such a wonderful story about how God was there and supported you and helped you, but also by having other women that were going through this who you could learn from. So I think that is so important. Like I said, we talk about that a lot in our ministry as well, just the importance of community and not trying to do this grief journey alone. So as we're talking about that, I would love to hear about kind of how your experiences may be a catalyst for this platform that you're working on. And so I would love to hear a little bit more about Daughters Without Mothers, just what your goal is, a little more about this platform.
Well, Daughters Without Mothers is a new platform I launched for motherless women to come together and encourage, reflect, network, and share their stories of hope. My vision is for us to empower each other as we continue down the path of our motherless journeys, to share with each other the moments and times in our lives that we became stronger through hope. And we'll gather together globally as bonded daughters who have experienced mother loss at any stage of our journey.
That sounds like such a needed thing and such a great way of being able to connect people. I think that's one great thing about technology and so many things that we have currently. Like you said, we can connect people globally. And it's not just because maybe sometimes in our personal lives, we don't have people that we encounter every day who have gone through a similar journey, especially for those who have mother loss earlier in their stories. So I think it's so important to be able to have ways to connect people. And I love this idea that you have of being able to connect people globally and being able to connect these people through hope that have a similar story. So is there something specific that inspired you to start Daughters Without Mothers, or it was just about what you saw in your life that you needed and you want to help others with that?
Yes, I wanted to get back to helping other women. This time, as we said, on a global level. Through the years, I've been able to help friends on a one-on-one basis while they were going through mother loss, whether that be an emotional or physical loss. I believe the stories of hope that are weaved into many of our motherless journeys is the message that we need to continue to share with one another. Hope is unstoppable, and this is the foundation of the platform that we just launched, Daughters Without Mothers, and it will be communicated by women sharing their motherless journey stories of hope on the platform.
We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we'll hear the rest of the story.
You have a powerful story to tell, and I want you to know your story will resonate with so many in our listening community. Podcasts provide us with opportunities to connect with others, fostering a sense of personal connection through the power and intimacy of one's voice. They can provide an escape, a touch point with the world outside, and a sense of community, and not just for the listeners. If you would like to be featured as a nurturing voice of experience in one of our upcoming podcasts, please let us know. Visit motherlessdaughtersminstry.com today.
So as you mentioned, this Daughters Without Mothers platform is all about people sharing their stories. So they have quick snippets of their story that they're sharing. And what do you hope others can gain from listening to these stories from these women?
Others can experience a shared bond and gain appreciation for our type of loss, as well as a continual reminder that although it's difficult and the pain never really goes away, there's hope. Even if some aren't quite sure that there is, or perhaps it's too early to know, that there's hope. I trust God that our short video stories will be helpful and serve as comfort and a friend and provide that hope.
So it sounds like there's kind of a dual thing for this platform. People can go there and hear stories of hope. People can also share their stories and their experiences. And I find that there can be so much value in sharing our stories. It can help us to be a way to share and feel like we're connecting and helping another person. And then it can help others to feel less alone. I don't think there's any time where I have shared a story of something I've been through that it hasn't helped both myself and the person that I'm sharing it with. So what a great way of trying to connect people. So I'm curious, what sort of stories are you looking to share? Maybe more specifically, who are you looking to share their stories on your platform?
Women who have a motherless journey story of hope. The ask is for women who want to share their unique story, to record a 2 to 3 minute maximum length video that will be shared on multiple social platforms, as well as the Daughters Without Mothers website. We launch the platform today, and we have some stories to date. We're actively searching for new stories. It will be a continuous need, so we can share as many motherless journey stories of hope with women and those close to them globally.
And I think that's a great point, not just for women who are going through the journey, but those who are close to them. That's another great thing that sometimes we don't think about. I know some people that listen to our podcast maybe haven't gone through mother loss themselves, but someone close to them, maybe a good friend. Sometimes we have spouses who will want to listen to our podcast and hear what we have to say to help them understand more about what someone, a loved one in their life is going through. So I think that's a great point, that it's not just sharing those stories of hope with women, I mean, that's a wonderful thing, but also with people around them. They can gain understanding and empathy and understand how to help those in their life. So I'm curious, is it just physical mother loss, or does it include other ways of having mother loss? I know with our ministry, obviously a big part of it is women who have experienced the death of a mother, but there are others who find healing and comfort that have a mother loss journey that's a little different. Maybe it's through emotional neglect, through narcissism, through other ways. So are your stories of hope the ones you're looking for and the ones that you're wanting to share? Do you see those as a similar thing where there's many different ways of experiencing mother loss and those types of stories that you're wanting to get?
Yes, great question, Sarah Lee. We include all types of mother loss. And I think that's a very important point to make.
Definitely. There, are so many different ways that you can still be going through this grief journey. And so I think that's great that you want to reach out to people, even if it doesn't look a certain way, very different ways of experiencing mother loss. So that is great. Well, I'm sure we have listeners who are listening to this and thinking, wow, I want to learn more about how to hear these stories, or I want to share my story. I'm sure maybe somebody wants both. So I'd love to hear a little bit more about how can women looking for hope find your platform?
This Daughters Without Mothers platform is on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. We also have a website that houses the video stories, and that is daughterswithoutmothers.org.
Great. And if anyone's listening to this and interested, we will have in our show notes links to all those things, to the Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube website. So make sure to check our show notes where you can get links to all of those, because I know there's someone listening to this right now who would love to hear stories of hope. But also, as I said, I'm sure there are people listening to this who would be interested in sharing their own story. I think that's going to be a great way for your platform, both people engaging with it through listening to the stories, but also through sharing their own stories. So how can those who are interested in sharing their stories contact you? What would be the best way?
So they can direct message. There's a couple ways, right? So they can direct message me on Facebook, Instagram, or LinkedIn, or go to our website, daughterswithoutmothers.org, and navigate to contact us to send a message. And also, if they want to just email me directly, the email address is quartertime3@gmail.com.
Great. It sounds like there's several different options they can use for contacting you. So yes, if you're listening to this, we would love for you to check out Daughters Without Mothers. We would love for you to hear those stories of hope, as well as consider sharing your own story of hope. And is there anything else that you would like to share with us today, Maryann?
Yes. I just want to share again that hope is unstoppable, and we'll continue to reiterate those words on our platform, Daughters Without Mothers. And thank you so much for your time. It's been a pleasure talking with you, Sarah Lynn. And I want to thank Motherless Daughters Minstry for this opportunity to introduce Daughters Without Mothers platform.
Well, yes, thank you so much. And it's so great to hear of different platforms, ministries, different things that are starting that want to reach women that are going through mother loss. So we thank you so much for your time as well. And please, if you are listening to this, we just check out our show notes and you can get all the information we just talked about and check out Daughters Without Mothers.
Thank you for joining us here at Motherless Daughters Minstry. If you need more nurturing words, we encourage you to have a listen to other episodes of this podcast. Don't forget to hit the subscribe or follow button so you can join us again next time.